You're running late for work. Your phone keeps going off. Your babysitter is texting you asking where the Band-Aids are. Your mind is racing what could have happened to the kids when, boom, you slam into the back of another car. Roughly 9 people are killed and more than 1,000 are injured daily in accidents in which at least one of the drivers was distracted. Fines for distracted driving can be up to $500, and distracted driving accounts for approximately 25% of all motor vehicle crash fatalities. Distracted driving is preventable, and thousands a year could be saved from fees, pain, and even death. Distracted driving has 3 different ways it can affect you: visually, cognitively, and manually. The first kind I'm going to tell you about is manual distraction. It is the physical act of taking your hands off of the wheel. It can be reaching inside your purse for chapstick to put on, or even reaching inside a box of crackers to have a snack. This kind of distraction makes you 80% more likely to get into an accident. Petting your dog is also a form of manual distraction. According to the American Automobile Association, 31% of drivers are distracted by their dogs being in the car. While 80% of them admitted to driving frequently with them in the car, only 17% admitted that they use a restraint with their pet, like a kennel or a seatbelt. If you are petting your dog, you're probably also looking at your dog, which leads me to my second type of distraction, which is visual. Visual distraction is when a driver takes their eyes off of the road and onto something else. It only takes 3 seconds after a driver's attention has been diverted from the road for a crash to happen. Cell phone is the most cause of visual distraction, causing people to look at their phones, whether it be an incoming phone call or a text. Approximately 660,000 drivers use cell phones while driving during daylight hours, creating large potential for crashes and fatalities. Large amount of phone usage can lead to new laws and fines created to stop this problem. By the summer of 2017, 47 states had banned the use of texting and driving. Annually, 1.6 million crashes from cell phones each year. This graph shows the increase of crashes each year. Using a cell phone visually takes our eyes away from the road, but depending on what was said in your text or phone conversation, it can also take our mind somewhere else as well, leading to my third form of distraction, which is cognitive distraction, which is taking your mind off of the task of driving and thinking of other things like, did I turn off my curling iron before I left the house? Or what should I make for dinner tonight? The brain is only capable of processing a certain amount of information at a time. So when multiple things are being thought of, they have to compete for your brain's attention. Being too emotional, whether it be sad or mad, can also mess with your cognitive ability to focus on driving. The largest amount of distracted driving crashes, at 62%, say they were being lost in thought or letting their mind wander. Keeping your mind on the road isn't just important as keeping your eyes on it. Even using a hands-free device takes 27 seconds afterwards to refocus your mind onto driving. Being under the influence of alcohol or drugs can also mess with your mind. While it is a separate problem, it also falls into a cognitive distraction. Those are all the types of distraction, and they are all preventable. And here's how. To ensure you are not distracted while driving, you need to stay calm, make sure your seat and radio preferences are already set to your liking, make sure that you've eaten, you've gotten plenty of sleep, and then all your grooming is done at home before you leave the house. While all these distractions are different, they tie together and they're all distracting you from doing the same thing. When in a car, think before leaving to turn off your phone. Think about who's in your back seat, who's in the car next to you, who's watching you. Set a good example and keep everyone in your car, yourself, and in the cars sharing the road with you safe. So, you're running late for work again. Your phone keeps going off, but you know that safety is important, so you're gonna leave it in your purse. But now your mind is starting to wander. Who could be texting me? Is it the babysitter? So, you pull off to the next parking lot, you safely park, you check your phone and reply, so your mind is clear before returning onto the road, keeping yourself and all other drivers safe.